as I looked at your pictures, Mr. Nelson, there was one distinct quality that I noticed in all of them. And that is that you knew how to stand on a stage. And that's not an easy thing to do, actually.
No,
some dancers don't know how to walk on a stage. They don't know how to stand on a stage. And what I noticed is that you had that quality that when you came on as the character, and you knew how to command the stage just by standing there. Is this something that can be taught?
I don't think so. You have to have some certain natural ability. I think mine all came from sports. That's where it started. And the training took care of the rest of it.
Right.
Now, when I look at male dancers, I look for that certain quality of form and stature.
Right. Stand as the character and do it with conviction.
Yes.
This is the great Peter Nelson when he was a football player who was on scholarship for Notre Dame. And this is Mr. Nelson as a rookie pitcher for the greatest baseball team of all time, which is the New York Yankees. Can you tell us a little bit about that chapter of your life when you were recruited by the most famous team in baseball, which is the New York Yankees, and also about your football life when you were recruited by Notre Dame?
Well, I wasn't recruited. I was offered. When I passed down the offer for the Yankees, my father would have killed me. He didn't know. But we both love sports, and I always followed baseball. I always wanted to know who was doing what, who was hitting, who was pitching.
Did you wear the pinstripes?
No, I never got that far. We were in the California State League, and I pitched all my games and won all of them.
Mr. Nelson, you just told us that the ballet company didn't know that you were pitching, that you were a pitcher in baseball. Did the baseball team know that you were dancing in the ballet?
No, they didn't know either. By the way, the reason I was playing baseball, that we didn't get a salary at that time for being in the ballet company. So I had to earn a living, so I became a stevedore and played baseball for them.
So you had to you actually had to subsidize your own dancing.
Right.
Bravo. That's great. Were you a quarterback?
No, but we played the Notre Dame system. I was a halfback.
Oh, I see.
And I did all the kicking, passing, blocking, and what have you.
I see.
I played the whole game. I played offense and defense.
I see. Oh. That's wonderful. These are great pictures of you in your athletic career. Absolutely marvelous. You wore number 40. Was there any particular connection to the number 40? Or was that a number just assigned to you?
I was given that number.
I see.
Actually, in baseball, I liked the number 9.
Uh-huh.
And, when I pitched baseball in the California State League, I never threw the ball into the ground like they do today.
Oh, I see.
Because that could cost runs.
Right.
And another thing, I always pitched 9 innings.
So you always pitched a complete game?
Yes.
Wow.
Nowadays, they only pitch 5 or 6 innings.
Exactly, and then they bring in the bullpen.
Yeah.
Now, so you didn't throw the fastball into the ground because that could cause runs to come in. Because
right.
if it's a passed ball, that the catcher might not be able to block it.
Right.
Did you? How many pitches did you throw? You had the fastball.
I had the fastball, the curve, the drop, the change of pace, which I threw different from most guys. I used my thumb.
For the changeup.
Yeah.
And how fast was your fastball?
I think I was in the 90s.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
And what was the changeup?
That was what I called a floater.
Right.
And the seams didn't move.
Wow.
Nowadays, their ball, the seams move because they use a knuckle.
So you had a different grip.
Oh yeah, I used my nails.
Oh, I see.
And it stopped the action of the ball, so it looked like it danced in there.
Wow. That sounds great, Mr. Nelson. Did you ever coach?
No.
You never did?
Never.
Mr. Nelson, I just want to briefly touch on something that it may be a little sensitive, but I want to touch on it anyway. When your father found out that you wanted to go into the ballet, what was his reaction?
You know, one of the nicest things I ever heard, he came to a performance and he said, "That's my son."
Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravo. So you were lucky in that your father didn't shun you,
Right.
because there, as you well know, there have always been prejudices
Oh, sure.
for male dancers, and so you had a good father.
Oh, excellent. We worked together, by the way.
Wonderful.
He was a longshoreman on the waterfront, and I worked with him when we were dancing.
How wonderful that is. Because as you know, there are many sad stories
Oh, sure.
in that area of the ballet. So I am delighted to know that yours wasn't, and that you had such a good father that supported you and applauded you.
Uh-huh.
I'm really happy to hear that.
That's my mother and father when they had just got married. My mother's name was Irene, and my father's name was Matthew.
Mr. Nelson, I want to take you back to your performing career. And I want to take you back to that one night when that curtain came down and you were sweating and you just said, "My God, that was a great performance." Tell us about that.
Well, it might have been Swan Lake with Straganova. I knew I had done my best, and the pas de deux went perfect. So, and the audience reaction was excellent. Someone told me that Anthony Tudor was in the audience, and a lot of people from ballet companies were in the audience. Well, that was a wonderful moment for me.
Bravo.
Thank you.
Mr. Nelson, the critics at that time, the famous ballet critics, as you know, were Walter Terry and
Clive Barnes.
and John Martin and Clive Barnes. Did you get good reviews?
I don't think they ever wrote me up. I don't know why. But I know that